Sleigh bells ring. Are you listening? In the lane. Hopefully more snow is glistening. A beautiful sight we're having tonight, walking in a winter wonderland. I hope you're walking in a wonderland because, it's the holiday special. So happy holidays to you, whatever you're celebrating. It's the holiday special, baby. That's why I'm all decked out in my Mrs. Santa Claus sort of stuff here going on. I wasn't going to wear any too like Santa baby business because singing that shit for a long time is uncomfortable. You know why you wear lingerie? It's because like you don't wear it for a long time. It's like it's super sexy and everything, but you're going to take it off soon. Pretty soon it's going to be on the floor. So, I didn't want to sit around in that for a while. And this is going to be an extra episode because this week has been fucking extra. And since I'm going to take an extra week off because hello, Christmas, I want to spend some Christmas time and holidays with my family and my friends and, celebrate those sorts of things and, take some time off. There's always like stuff with the company and stuff, but I'm going to take some time off as much as I can. Mrs. Claus is going to put her feet up underneath the Christmas tree. And there you go. I'm going to bake some cookies, have some fun, have some hot chocolate. I got a chocolate mole I haven't tried yet for my coffee. It's like chocolate and spice. It's really good. It's like kind of bitey on your tongue. It's really nice. It's almost spicy. It's nice. Not too hot. Like nothing that's going to overpower you, but it's nice to warm you up on a cold day. And it's cold. It's cold as shit today in Canada. Holy Jesus. And I don't really see an end in sight. I just see it getting colder and colder. I see like the low getting colder and the high getting colder. It's like high of -7, low of -21. It's like, I need to have a talk with the weather person. I don't know. It's cold here. It's very cold. It actually like surprised me. So like I say, I've got an extra special episode this week for you. You. Everybody gets a special episode. I'm just giving it away like Oprah. Like it's crazy. But I got a special episode for especially you. Know who you are. I got a great episode. This is my gift to you, and this gift is just going to keep on giving for this whole episode. So you get a little extra long, you get a little extra strong. I'm coming down your chimney tonight to serve you with a great podcast and to serve up a holiday feast of fun and frolic and bitchin' on another episode of 21st Century Rocker Mom podcast. So like I say, with that, I will welcome you all to the show. Welcome to another week of another episode of 21st Century Rocker Mom podcast with me, your host, Tanya Candler. I'm back for you this week, but next week I will not be here. I will be walking in a winter wonderland. Hopefully, like I say, we get some more snow. I'm a big snow fan, so I like to I don't do anything like hardcore, like snowboard or ski or anything like that. And yes, I consider those activities hardcore, or like for me at least. But I love tobogganing. It's definitely one of my favorite winter activities. Who the hell doesn't love to go down like a slip and slide on a hill or a crazy carpet or a GT snow racer? Come on, people from my generation, you know what the hell I'm talking about. Get with the fucking program. If you haven't gotten one of those old school, slippity slidey things for your kids, put a helmet on them and everything. But like they're missing out big time. They didn't have the snow racer. If you didn't have the snow racer growing up, you just like weren't the cool kid on the block. Not cool. Speaking of my beautiful childhood, it's the 40th anniversary of the Dark Crystal. The 40th anniversary. If you've not seen the Dark Crystal, obviously it is a Jim Henson production who obviously produced the Muppets, made the Muppets and Sesame Street and all those wonderful creatures and features from the Creature Shop down with Jim Henson. But that movie had such a profound effect on my life and my creativity, even when it comes to music and down to things like grooming oil and the company. The Dark Crystals had such a profound effect on me and my life and even like my love life. Like Rob and I kind of bonded over Dark Crystal and Jim Henson stuff. It is strange how much that's tied everything together. And it being the 40th anniversary kind of weekend of the Dark Crystal, and it's just, it's amazing to think that film's been around for 40 years and it's caused so much positive influence and caused, spin-off series like The Age of Resistance, which I enjoyed. A lot of people like picked it apart. I liked The Age of Resistance. I thought it was cool. That was cool prequel, different tribes and clans of Gelflings. It was Gelflings gone wild. I was totally there for it, man, completely. Ogra, seer of all things. I'll tell you. They should have listened to Ogra. If you know anything about the Dark Crystal, you probably know what I'm talking about. So, like, what's I'm going to say? I'll indulge you with what we're going to talk about this week. I've been a mixin' vixen this week. I've had to restock the shop at the grooming company because I sold out of the captain's blend, which is my dad's blend, which is so cool, which my dad, I think he'd be pretty proud of. So Merry Christmas, Dad. That's pretty cool. And Merry Christmas and thank you to all of you who bought it and were interested in it and took any interest in the captain's blend, and anybody who bought. That was really cool. Speaking of grooming, I will say this. And this is not why I'm wearing the hat, by the way. I'm wearing the hat because it's festive, but I did a bang trim. And why did I do a bang trim? And I have friends who have the same problem. I did a bang trim because I started watching another season because I hadn't finished the last season of Dead to Me, the series Dead to Me on Netflix with Linda Cardellini and Christina Applegate. And it's a fantastic series. It's very like female driven, two very strong female characters, two very strong women, like really kicking ass in some pretty impossible situations. I've come to the conclusion in that show, because Linda Cardellini's character's name's Judy and Christina Applegate's character's name's Jen. I'm like the perfect combination and merger of the two. I'm like the hippie crystal lady, but I'm also like badass, like kicking ass mom, crazy lady. And so, yeah, the show speaks to me. So every time I watch it, I cut my fucking bangs. And I didn't do a bad job. I did a great job, actually. And if I wanted to take off my hat, I would. But like I say, so it was a good reason to cut the bangs again. So I've got the bang over. So like it's like what you're always recovering from right after you do a trim of anything. Mustaches, beards, your hair, like the split ends, your bangs. You get the bang over. You go through the growth stage. I cut mine a little bit long and left them long on purpose. And now they're kind of in my eyes. So I have to actually go and cut them shorter. So now they look more like Linda Cardellini, and she just keeps feeding my fuel for bangs. No more looking at bangs. Bangarang, Peter. So spoiler alert. Quick plot synopsis. If you've never seen Dead to Me, it's an absolutely fantastic show. Like, it kind of starts as, and you can see it in the previews for the show in the trailer. It started on Netflix years ago. I don't know when the first episode was released officially. But Christina Applegate's husband he's out for a run and he gets struck by a car and he's killed in the process. And it's kind of like what happens to her with her grief and meeting a new friend through her grief and how they bond through grief and some pretty crazy things that go on with them. Like I say, truly, most of my viewing hasn't been just Jen and Judy. They're like today's, Thelma and Louise. It's been mostly, other than British crime shows and documentaries, it's been mostly holiday themed things and Christmas programs and Christmas cartoons and specials and things like that and sing-along things and lights and anything that's festive, because I love Christmas when it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. I love it because I'm a nut for Christmas. Like, I'm definitely a mixed nut for Christmas. There's a great Christmas movie. And I'm going to tell you about my holiday phase and some classics. And I'm reading because I had to write it down because I can't remember everything off the top of my head. I just write down little point notes and then I share them with you. So I've always got notes on my lap because this brain doesn't remember everything. Come on, let's be real here. Top 10 at least Christmas movies, and definitely some honorable mentions too. So I got to tell you, Irving Berlin's White Christmas, what a beautiful film. The dancing in it, the choreography in it, the singing in it, the actors in it, just generally speaking. And it was presented to you in glorious Technicolor, when a lot of films at that time were not. Amazing. What a fabulous film. I love Rosemary Clooney in that film probably more than anything else. Maybe Danny Kaye takes a back seat to it, first and second, but awesome film. White Christmas, it's not a holiday season and year yet if I've not watched White Christmas yet. The combo, the foursome, my favorite foursome of Santa Claus is Coming to Town, Frosty the Snowman, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and the Little Drummer Boy, that Rankin Bass classic. We have the box set, it's like DVDs. It's the Rankin Bass classic, stop motion, stop animation sort of little puppet people cute Christmas classics you used to watch when you were a kid. You know, Santa Claus is coming to the town and he's too skinny and he has to fatten up because, you know, nobody likes a skinny Santa. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer always has a plugged up nose because his dad wants him to like cover it up because he's embarrassed of him. You know, the little drummer boy's a little bit creepy, always was. Frosty the Snowman, I mean, the girl's name's Karen and she complains about everything. The movie's perfect. So that's a definite holiday classic for me and for my family at least. Christmas Vacation. Oh, Holiday Road. But that's the only one where they probably don't play Holiday Road. They play Christmas Vacation. And I love Clark Griswold. And I've said it on the podcast before. He's everybody's dad. He's America's dad. He's everybody's favorite dad. He loves the Bears. He just lives in Chicago and he's just such a nice guy. He works a regular 9-to-5 job. He's a salesman. He's a wonderful dad. He pulls hard for his family. He's a hardworking man. I like Clark Griswold. And like, I think at some point in our life, we got the chainsaw in our hand and the Jason mask on our face. And everybody thinks that Clark Griswold looks so crazy in that movie. And now with the neighbors he had and the neighbors I have that live behind me, I don't really think that Clark Griswold was so crazy in that movie for doing what he did. I had to adjust myself here. So yeah, definitely Christmas Vacation. Another one huge high up on the list. A Christmas Story. You'll shoot your eye out. You'll shoot your eye out. I want a Red Ryder BB gun. You know, you're never going to get that, kid. Why don't you ask for something like a football? You'll shoot your eye off. Peter Billingsley in A Christmas Story. Absolutely fucking magical. The Leg Lamp. It's a major award. Fragile. It's Italian. It's a major award. A lot of people I know have that lamp. I love that lamp, the leg lamp. I think it's so funny that the glowing sex in the window. And again, it's like, that's one that I'll watch, like we'll watch as a family. And my kids are like, what's the glow of electric sex? Like, what is that? Like my son will say something now, right? Because he's at that age. He's 8. Well, he'll say, what's the glow of electric sex? So like, you got me. Like, what do you say to that? You know, how do you, I don't know. One that we don't watch as a family for sure, but this is definitely like a couple classic when we're having a date night. Rob and I will sit around and definitely Scrooged is one because Bill Murray is just goddamn hilarious. And he just like gets my sense of humor. Bill Murray is always consistently funny. I love him in Scrooged. I love him also in Mixed Nuts and like sort of like those sorts of films. I love Bill Murray in anything, but Bill Murray in Scrooge definitely is a Christmas classic for me, at least. This is a very like childish Christmas classic, but it's a cartoon that I love from being a little kid. You know, the one where Donald Duck goes and chops down a Christmas tree, but he happens to chop down Chip and Dale's like house. It's their Christmas tree. It's their house. It's where they live. And they go and they hang out inside his cabin with him and they're like causing trouble and they dress up as toy soldiers and they're like kind of having a party. Who gets stuck with all the bad luck? No one but Donald Duck. And Pluto's his dog. And like, it's just, they're all fun Christmas stuff. Mickey Christmas carols, those kinds of things. Those fun things that I watched when I was a kid. I still watch them now as an adult. Even when the kids are asleep, I'll watch them. I don't give a shit. I'm watching it. The Star Wars Christmas special. And you can complain about it as much as you fucking want. I don't care. It's special to me. I love the Star Wars Christmas special. I think it's silly and not well made and it just kind of over the top and just silly. But it's a Christmas special for me. I like that one. I like the Masters of the Universe Christmas special, like the He-Man and She-Ra one. It's really good. Our kids like that one. They definitely like it. And it's one that I know Rob will always watch with them. He'll be like, hey, I'll put on the He-Man Christmas. And he's just like, oh yeah, I'll watch that with the kids. Totally. He loves it. It's great. Muppet Family Christmas. It's not Christmas until we watch Muppet Family Christmas. And I'm not talking about like the Muppet Christmas Carol, although I love the Muppet Christmas Carol. That's another like staple in our household. It's in the singing of the street corner choir. It's going home and getting warm by the fire. I love Michael Caine. He's the cocaine in that movie. But Muppet Family Christmas, the full version where they bring the Muppets and Sesame Street, the Fraggles, they combine everybody in the Henson Creature Feature Shop kind of going on. And it's not Christmas until I've watched that. I love that movie. And speaking, of course, of Jim Henson, Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas. It's definitely not Christmas until I've watched that movie. And it's going to be difficult to watch this year, definitely for me, because it's like the first year I've watched it like without my dad. It was a movie that was like super dear to like me and my dad and really special to us, because there's a song in it called Where the River Meets the Sea that John Denver sings. It's kind of like about getting older and like your children getting older and children having children. And I remember when I had my first child, my dad would play it and we'd hang out and stuff like that. And we both kind of like end up in tears because it's very beautiful and it's very coming of age. And if I talk about it too much, I'm going to cry. Whew. But it is a good film. It's a really good movie. And Emmett Otter doesn't have his dad either in that movie. So it's going to be a difficult watch, but it's one that I've kind of like put off this year, but I have to watch it before Christmas because it's on my list. Honorable mentions. Lots of honorable mentions. We enjoyed 8-Bit Christmas, and that was another kind of like sad one where there was no dad at the end. There was just kind of a place for him at the table, or no granddad, no grandfather at the table. And it was just hard because like we kind of have that here too. It's like you set a place for the people that you love that have passed away. We kind of do that here. That's kind of a thing that we do. We really loved 8-Bit Christmas like a lot because it's like, in A Christmas Story, he wanted that Red Ryder BB gun, and this one the kid really wants a Nintendo. I tried to watch the new Christmas Story with Peter Billingsley in it, and I wanted to like it so much until it hit a chord with me. It hit a really big emotional chord with me. I couldn't watch it because in it, and spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, he's going home for Christmas and he's ready to see his parents and his dad's Mr. Christmas and everything like that. And then it's like the night before he goes to go home, he gets a call from his mom on the phone, who's obviously not the mom from the original one because she passed away, that his dad's passed away. And I'm just like, and at that moment, I'm like, I can't handle this. It was too triggery for me. And truly and honestly, I had to turn it off. You know me, I'm transparent with you. I'm not going to fucking lie to you. It was too much for me, so I turned it off. I miss my dad. Like I say, it's the holidays. It's going to be my first holiday without him, so it's going to be difficult. And I think it's difficult for a lot of people for having their first holidays without someone or something that they're used to. You know what I mean? It's everybody struggles in their own way, and you don't know what's going on behind, closed doors in people's houses and people's minds and stuff like that. Not everything's a fucking gingerbread house, not everything's great, for everybody. Things that are great. Honorable mention Christmas movies. Definitely Die Hard. Obviously, everyone, I don't know if you consider Die Hard a Christmas movie. I do. Yippee-ki-yay, brotherfuckers, because seriously, I definitely consider Die Hard a Christmas movie because it is, in my opinion. Home Alone. If you don't think that it is a movie for Christmas, there's something wrong with you. The Wet Bandits, the Sticky Bandits. Come on. You're your family's Cousin Eddie if you don't believe in that shit. I swear to God. Anyways, another honorable mention. This is one that we don't watch with our kids. I don't even know if Rob's seen it. A very Harold and Kumar Christmas. It's like the ultimate stoner Christmas film. It's like the Cheech and Chong of Christmas film. And there's a scene in it where where they break, I think it's like a bag of cocaine. Oh, it's a lot. It's funny though. Definitely 100%. Send your kids to bed. Hide your wife, hide your kids. Well, maybe don't hide your wife. Hide your kids though. Make sure that they don't get 1 second of Harold and Kumar Christmas or any of the Harold and Kumar movies, because they're heavily laden with marijuana references and alcohol references and different drug references and things like that, and sexual references and stuff like that. And I think there's there's probably references to, I think, herpetic lesions, like STIs in them. You just don't want to go there. I told you I was talking about nudity and weird stuff this week on the podcast. I said I promised nudity. You got some almost nudity on my Instagram. I've been taking my top off all week, I've been hot. It's been hot around here. It's getting hot in here, so take off all your clothes. Speaking of hot in here, I got more hot sauce eating stuff going down the pipe. And as decided, with a very fun live stream Friday night with my friend Jordan Cantillon on Jordan Cantillon Creations channel. If you haven't subscribed to Jordan Cantillon's channel yet, you probably should do that. I'll put it in my stories. Check it out. I'm on his channel a lot. He does a lot of beard oil stuff and grooming oil stuff. He does a lot of reaction content. He does a lot of different content, like a lot of unboxing for, if you like tech stuff, a lot of unboxing of, technological things. Check his channel out. I will put it up definitely in my stories. You check out that. We did a stream on the last Friday, this past Friday, And it was great. It was a great stream. We talked about Jordan's favorite scents and products of 2022. And we talked about a few of mine. So if you feel inclined, you should go and check that out. Hit subscribe, because then you'll always get notified of what's coming down the pipe. And because I say, speaking of spicy, what is coming down the pipe for someone like Jordan and myself is like a hot ones type of thing. We're going to go up the Scoville scale and see, because I don't usually eat hot sauce with a partner. And Jordan was talking about wanting to eat some hot sauce, and I was talking about wanting to have some hot sauce. So we're going to put our little creative minds together and do a little collab and heat up. We're going to be heating up the house. So you'll see a hot ones type thing in the new year. So keep your eyes peeled for that. 4 Christmases. Speaking of Christmases, I got to get back to Christmas. Because that's what it is. 4 Christmas gets an honorable mention, because you know why? Everybody's got that family member, just like in 4 Christmases, or that part of their family that they just like dread seeing, but might or have to see on the holidays. And it's dreadful for them. They either walk in the room and like nobody says anything, or they walk in the room and everybody's got an opinion, or that person walks in the room and they're really embarrassing for whatever reason. Maybe they're just not nice. Maybe they're racist. Maybe they don't agree with how you do things and they got to pick everything you do apart. You know, you just don't want to see that family member for whatever reason. But you're trying to be kind because it's like the spirit of giving, and you're trying to be cool and everything, but you don't want to see them. But the great thing about that movie is they have a safe word for when they want to leave. And it's mistletoe. Mistletoe! Get me the fuck out of here. Oh my God, I've had so many mistletoe moments, especially in my first marriage. Holy shit. I will tell you, my first marriage, there were so many like Christmas moments where I just wanted to scream mistletoe at the top of my lungs, but these are back in the days where I drank, but I just kept drinking whatever kind of alcohol my first marriage's family was providing, because they were Irish, so they drank a lot. So there was always a lot of booze at Christmas occasions. This is before I had kids. So I used to drink quite a bit. That's why I am sober now, because if I drank, I don't think so. I think my liver would drop out my ass, and I don't think that'd be good. I think alcoholism is something that is, I don't want to fool around with that like Ouija boards. No, I want to stay safe. And speaking of safe, my children were not spared this week, and they were not safe. I'm just kidding. Don't call child services just yet. No, they were not safe from hearing my Japanese noise collection. They were not spared from hearing some Japanese rock and roll and screaming. And like Rob has been on a lot of business trips, and he's been back and forth to Toronto and here and there. And he's been, spending lots of time there. They've been 18-hour days. We've both been pulling like a lot of 18, 19-hour days, long days. But that's what you get when you work for yourself, and you work in this kind of industry, is you work long days, you work long hours. And especially when you have a family and you're trying to raise a family and a dog, and you know what I mean, and you're trying to do production, and you're doing a company. I mean, because don't get yourself wrong, Rob's pretty much like the COO of the company. If there was the chief of operations, it would definitely be Rob. He takes care of like all the mail stuff and the shipping stuff. He knows all about that shit and how to get it in and out and all that stuff. I, like I say, make all the products. I come up with the ideas and stuff like that, but Rob does so much. A lot of the times, like, you'll get Rob will take a meeting for me when there's meetings and stuff like that. It's Rob who takes the meetings, because he's the one who makes those kinds of decisions. That's not my bag. I like to do the creative thing. It's like, I like to go into a recording studio and record. I don't necessarily want to record myself. I do now, because we got the studio set up, and I will talk about that a little bit later, but it's great. But like I say, my kids heard Japanese noise this week, and they became obsessed with it. Because you guys, Kill Bill. That kick-ass band, the 5, 6, 7, 8, they're like a surf rock punk band, like a Japanese noise band of all female ladies, just with bouffants and big beehives and like 1950s sort of outfits, almost like surf music, surf rock. But like playing whacking bass lines and just like smashing guitar solos and like screaming and going crazy. They were big, and I loved them before Kill Bill. But they got big because Quentin Tarantino must have saw something cool in them in Kill Bill. I want to like pick up my bass right now and just like start jamming out on the 5, 6, 7, 8, but I'm not plugged in, so I can't. I would totally play a show for you right now, but I cannot. But I would. But like I say, so Woohoo made them huge. And they made them mainstream, I think, in America, and it made a lot of Japanese noise bands mainstream in America. And if you don't know Japanese noise bands, there are all kinds of Japanese noise bands that you should check out. I love the 5, 6, 7, 8s, and I have for years. I love Chibo Mato. Chibo Mato is like a band that is like, it's just like 2 women, and they're fantastic. It's just a duo. The Zoo Bombs are amazing. High Rise is amazing. Like, oh my gosh. Like so many, so many good, like Japanoise bands is what they were kind of called. Is like the genre of music they gave it was Japanoise. I always called it Japanese noise bands because that's what they were always called. I always listened to Acid Mother's Temple and a Buradako. A lot of people don't know about a Buradako, but they actually have had quite a long career in music and had a long career in that actual musical category, and they're pretty huge. So if you have a chance to check them out, you should. I could go on for ages and ages about Japanese noise collections. I think there's only one other person on this earth that likes Japanese noise music as much as I do, and she knows who she is. She's an awesome person. A band, I think, in a similar category that I love is called P-Lander Z. They're not a Japanese noise band by any chance, but imagine this. I want you to imagine this in your head. Imagine if the Power Rangers started this crazy pop punk band where they all like dressed up and had different monsters and interacted with every member of the audience. And every member of the band was a different color. So were their instruments to correspond with their suits. I got to post a picture of them on my Instagram because you're not going to believe this shit. So one night with the Alcoholies, when I was playing in the Alcoholies, and it's several nights, I think we like opened for, and we were direct support for P-Lander Z when they played in London. We played with P-Lander Z, and it was an honor to open for them. It was so magical because they had like people on stage. It made us want to step up our game and like make our show and make our on stage performance more theatrical and more interactive with the audience. It really like amps you up when you see a band like that that's so into it and really wants to have a fun time with the audience. It's a good time to have a fun time. It's probably one of the most wild shows I've ever played. And there you go. Another fucking girl band. It seems to be the common theme of my musical prowess and my musical life about girl bands. I always say, I'll never be in another girl band. I'm not going to join another girl band. I'm not doing that because when I have too much female energy, and this is 100% true, I can do like a duet probably with like one of my girlfriends, maybe 3 of us, and like someone that at least identifies as male-ish, a little bit on the drummers or anywhere on a bass. Actually, I'd probably want to play bass and maybe singing. I don't know. Maybe like a male voice for the band. I don't know. However, every time it's just like all women energy in a band for me and all female energy in a band, things don't go well. It just turns out that it just doesn't, everything goes tits up, so to speak. I mean, so I always say, I'm not ever going to be in a girl band again. Screw that. No, I'm not doing that again. And then bang, I'm in another girl band. Instant karma's going to get you, bitch, because it happens. I always end up in a girl band. But I mean, some of us never learn. Some things never change. And like I say, that's the kind of attitude that's funny because it's the kind of attitude with the women can do anything attitude, and we hold each other up and we tell each other that we're doing a great job and that, yeah, you go girl, and then we're trashing each other behind each other's backs. So I don't believe in this whole like women can do anything thing. I do believe that women can do anything, but this whole women can do anything movement is bullshit because most of it's like honestly abusive. It's like men like trying to build each other up saying, oh, men can do anything. Oh yeah, but then behind each other's back, what are they doing? Talking shit. And let me tell you, I don't know why people talk shit. I had to take a big pause there, like really, because I'm just like, I'm looking at my notes about talking shit, and seriously, the attitude that the women can do anything, because like women are doing all kinds of things and female identified people, though, and I'm focusing on this because I have a point to this story. Women are out there with successful careers. There weren't, double incomes before. It was just, the husbands that went out and worked. I'm talking like 1950s relationships. This is what the ages that we're coming at are from. This is systemic. This is rooted in this is a systemic root. This is a deep one. So, I mean, and women are, they're having families, they're having careers, they're having both. They're having, like entertainment careers. They're having high up jobs like CEOs and like powerful positions. And people aren't used to these things. I mean, like some people don't even like it that chicks get the vote, you know what I mean? Or those that identify as female get the vote. People don't like it. Yeah, I said chicks. Because some people still think of us as that, or think of me, maybe me as that. I don't know. And why are we doing this? Why are we not holding each other up? Why are we not holding each other up? You know why? I'll tell you why we're not holding each other up. Because too many people are so obsessed with pulling the fucking gender card. So many people fucking do it. And I'm so sick of it. It's so ridiculous. And that is going to get me into a little bit of like bitching and beards and bitching, because this is bearded in kind of bitching. But I mean, like, why pull a gender card on somebody? It doesn't really matter. I don't think that your gender has any onus over what you do. I don't think it does. I'm just saying. Now, let me tell you what happened to me. And speaking of gender, and what is happening to me is I was going to say small dick energy, but it's more like really big ego energy. Maybe it's a big beard energy. I don't know what it is, but it's bullshit energy, and it's happening to me. So brace yourself. I do want to say first and foremost, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again, I can't stress this enough, that it's only like a few bad apples, like really, that make the shitty shit come out of my mouth. And like, there's only one kind of like, there's only like a point you can get to before you're pushed to the edge, where someone kind of just like pushes all your buttons, and then you say something about it. And you don't have to be mean. You don't have to say their name, but you're going to talk about it, because if they don't want to have a talk with you about it, they don't want to send you a DM or a message, but they just want to make passive aggressive, shit about it, you're going to call it out. But I think when there's someone in the community, especially the bearded community, and yeah, I'm saying it, it's the fucking bearded community, because of course it is. What community would I be talking about? What other community would I be talking about? Seriously? Think I'm talking about the hippie community? Or do you think I'm talking about the Santa Claus community? No, I'm not. I'm talking about the bearded community. I guess Santa Claus is the bearded community. But like, when someone in the community, or someone in general, touts themselves as a neutral person, a person who likes to stay on the fence and stay out of drama and not really get involved with things, and is really calm about things and really doesn't like to start shit, and they tout themselves as that, and they really represent themselves as that. And then they go against all of those fucking things. They like flip the fucking chessboard upside down, or they flip the Dungeons and Dragons board fucking upside down, and then you're in the upside down. And then guess what? They go against all those pillars, and they go against those good things that they stand for, that they stood for, you thought they stood for. And then it begins, and it has begun. Oh my God. And these things need to get called the fuck out. So that's what I'm doing this week. Someone, I will say, who I used to consider a friend, a faithful podcast listener, always like watching my stories, definitely watching my stories. They've been interesting with me. When I was selling bread, I started a bread business. I was selling bread because I was baking so much bread that I was like, oh, I'm going to sell it on the side. So many people were like, sell it on the side. I'll tell you, when I was baking bread, this person had no problem buying bread off me. They loved buying bread off me. They bought it all the time. And I got all these beard oil bottles back when I was baking bread. So this is like years ago. And I got these beard oil bottles. I said, hey, do you want to do a beard oil collab? I got these free bottles. If you want to fill them up, we can do something together. No. A resounding no. So you know what I mean? I can be controversial sometimes. So I understand why people say no to me. And I get it. But fast forward to now, like Rockaholics launched, whatever. And immediately this person completely turns on a dime. And I will tell you about that in a little bit. Like, I'm talking between refunding me in products and snubbing me in public. This person turns on a dime. They even speak to me differently. So I'm calling it out. It's funny how quickly people turn like that. And it's also interesting that we were cool and everything until I launched a grooming company, because this person has one too. They also have a grooming company. And I'm friends with a lot of people that own grooming companies, mostly that are men, because I don't really know a lot of people that identify as female or that are female that have grooming companies. And I talk to them on, a daily basis or a weekly basis or a regular basis. I know lots of gentlemen, and they are truly gentlemen that are either reviewers, that have, breweries, that have beer companies, that have barber shops. They treat me like a lady, and it's very nice to be treated that way. They treat me like a human. They treat me with respect. And then there are other people that just don't. Some people don't have any fucking respect at all, and it's not cool at all. And I'll tell you, nobody gets this shit. No men run and male identified run grooming company gets the shit from this person that I do. 100 male grooming companies could launch in London, Ontario, and this guy wouldn't give a flying fuck. But you know what? I go and launch one, and he gives a fuck. Oh, shit. Now, there's a lot of male-run businesses that have, customs, right? Okay, listen to me, beard oil companies. If you're watching, you make custom oils for people. There's a lot of beard oil companies that make custom oils for people. They got a problem with custom oils? Uh-oh. And then, how many of y'all give away stuff on your beard oil companies and your grooming companies? How many of y'all give away stuff? Put up your hand. How do you do it? Do you draw a number? Do you pick it out of a hat? I'm old school. I pick it out of a jar. You spin a wheel? I bet you do. And, have you seen a spin a wheel on a game before? Wheel of Fortune, anything like that. The wheel wasn't invented yesterday. So, apparently with the spin the bottle, because I'm spinning anything, it was cool when I was spinning records. But as soon as I started to give away bottles of grooming oil, then we got a problem. Ruh-roh. Some people think like they've created the wheel, like they've created fire or something. Chances are, I will say this, chances are if you have an idea, it's probably been done before in many, many different iterations and ways. So if you think your idea is original, it's probably just rip off of something else. Same with songs. I hate to break it to you, but that's the breaks, baby. That's showbiz. However, the ego is a very difficult thing to step away from. It's very difficult to step away from your emotions and take your emotions out of the situation without feeling like you need to react immediately. What you can do is step closer to yourself, step away from your ego, step away from your emotions, pull yourself and get out of that situation and look at it from an outsider point of view. Look at it a view that you wouldn't look at otherwise. And you'll be amazed what you see. But if you hang on to your ego too tight, you're going to fall off. It's like a fucking carousel ride. You're going to go crazy. The carnies are going crazy. I say, it was all fine when I was making you a sandwich. But now that I'm not making you a sandwich, it's not okay. Now that I'm touching beards, we got beef. I'm touching beards just like people touching cloth. No, I'm just kidding. I'm touching beards. I'm not touching them. I'm just kidding. Get a hold of your damn self. That's all I got to say. Get a hold of your damn self. I just like to feel safe in my own body. That would be cool. To feel safe in my own body without being fucking harassed for the shit that I do. So note to yourself. Get a fucking hold of yourself. And I'm going to say this once. And I'm going to put it bluntly. When I create something and I make something, whether it be a song, a poem, a grooming oil, I don't do it with anything that I got in my fucking pants. So unless you're mixing your beard oil with your Oscar Mayer wiener, get off my jock. Same goes with bands. Like when I used to get the question, what's it like to be in a girl band? I'm like, I don't know. What's it like to be in a band? Why don't you just ask what it's like to be in a band? What's it like to be the female owner of a grooming company? I don't know. What's it like to be the male owner of a grooming company? Busy? It's fucking busy. That's what it's like. Do boobs play guitar? No. Do vaginas play drums? No. Do I do any of that stuff with my pants down and while I'm mixing grooming oil? No. Shouldn't have any onus on it. Gender doesn't have any, like I say, onus over what you do or how you make it. Come on now. What fucking year are we in? Don't be a fucking Neanderthal. It's amazing. Speaking of, I gotta take a sip of my coffee because I need it. I need that super powered Mole coffee to get me through this bullshit. Ah! I'm laughing about it though. I'm laughing because I'm always having a good time. I'm always having a fucking good laugh about it. I think it's funny. Because I don't think we should really be afraid of people's genders. I think we should be afraid of people's minds and afraid of people's brains. That's what we should fear. Don't worry about their genders. Don't let your ego get too worried about their gender too much or what's going on with them in their life. Worry about their brain and how much they're thinking. Because everything that they, that they say, they're probably thinking 100 times more than that. So watch out, watch out. Speaking of boys clubs, I had boys clubs on the brain because of this boys clubs business. And like I say, there haven't been too many boys clubs because most of the boys clubs have been ordering from me. Good old boys clubs. So I want to thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and, non-binary folks actually who have bought from me, because not everyone who buys from me identifies as a lady or a gentleman. I have some non-binary customers too, and they are the kind of people that can feel safe in the space where I make my grooming oils, because I'm not there to tell anyone what they should or shouldn't have or shouldn't do or shouldn't be, or be who you are. And that's kind of the whole thing with Rockaholic. It's kind of like let your freak flag fly. That's the whole thing with music. That's why I did it with music. You know what I mean? You like what you fucking like. You can't put a gender on it. You can't put a color on it. You can't put a race on it. You can't put an ethnicity on it. You can't do any of that stuff. You can't pigeonhole it into a corner. You like what you like because you like it, because you're you. And that's what I think is unique. And I hope what is unique about Rockaholic Grooming Company, and I hope that's what's unique for you, at least, because that's what's unique for me. So like I say, what got me thinking about boys clubs was all this stuff going on. And at one time, organizations like the Freemasons, they have the Eastern Stars, obviously, that accommodate women, Freemasons and stuff like that. And we had an Imperial Order of Water Buffaloes sort of here in town. On the Flintstones. Maybe you haven't seen the Flintstones Christmas special. You should probably watch that. It's awesome. But the Imperial Order of Water Buffaloes is where Fred and Barney would go to play bowling and hang out with dudes and drink mugs of grog or beer or whatever it was. I don't know what it was in the caveman days. But they do it and they wear their skins and go. But there was a thing like that here in town. And when I was in my 20s, early 20s, I belonged to it. And I was the youngest. And when I say I was the fucking youngest, oh my God, because this reminds me of Christmas. I was the youngest. I got involved in this organization before Christmas, and it wasn't like a cult or anything weird like that. It was like an Imperial Order of Eagles, and it was a charitable organization. And mostly the people that were in it were 65 plus. And at the time I was 20 something, 21, 22. And so I really wanted to help out with charity and stuff like that. And so I'd go every weekend to this place and I'd sing for old people. That would kind of be what I did. And I'd help do meat raffles and help collect canned goods under the Christmas tree. And that's kind of what I did in my 20s on the weekends. It was kind of lame, when I wasn't playing in a band. People thought it was lame. I had fun. I'll tell you how many times I sang the Wabash Cannonball or anything by Johnny Cash, because that's all the senior citizens wanted to hear at the time. They wanted old country. And I love old country. Don't get me fucking wrong. I love old country. I love Waylon and Willie and the boys. I love all that stuff. My dog's name is Willie Nelson, for crying out loud. I love old country music. There's some new stuff that I like. Some of it I think is really I don't know what I'll call it, hick hop. There are people in this world that call it hick hop. That is not my term, but there are a few artists that I would call hick hop, and they're people that are aligned with, I would say, white supremacy and super white nationalism. I'm not into that, but I do love old country, and I love me some Johnny Cash. I love Loretta Lynn. I love Dolly Parton. I love Waylon Jennings. I love, I love even George and Tammy. I love those things, George Strait and Tammy Wynette, and George Jones rather. Sorry, George Strait, but him too. I love old country. Conway Twitty. Bom, bom, bom. So that's good. So like I say, that's where I started moonlighting as a DJ. So when I started playing at the Imperial Order of Eagles, I started moonlighting as a DJ because they'd have wedding receptions there, and they'd have stag and does and stuff there. And they're you have a really banging like PA system. I'm like, yeah. Like, what do you got in your musical catalog? So I just had like a thumb drive with about 1 billion songs on it, so people could request whatever they wanted. I usually had, and if I didn't, they had great like Wi-Fi, and I could find it on a site like that and make it the next song up, so whatever. So I started doing that for like cash or whatever. And when you work under the table when you're 20, it's great. You can get that kind of money. It's great to like put that in your pocket, you know what I mean? Just make it on a weekend, because I needed the money. I was going to college, like I say. So when you have a giant musical library and a pretty good musical knowledge, you can do things like, you know, run a DJ service and stuff like that. But I didn't necessarily want to be a DJ. I did a lot of weddings and emceed a lot of weddings. I DJ'd in some weird places, definitely. I don't think I would do it again. But that's what brought me to Spin the Bottle. And I thought because with the DJ experience, it'd be fun to hang out with you. And the broadcast experience, it'd be fun to hang out with you. And we've had the show in production for, like I say, over a year. It's been hard to bring it to you. But now that we have the space to do it, which is great, it's going to be fun. It's going to be definitely a good time to create a cool scent and give it to you while we're like jamming out to tunes. Like, I don't think there's anything better you can do than hang out with your friends, listen to music, and create a scent, and then just give it to one of your friends. Not because you want to sell them anything, because you want to give them something, because you want to hang out. I can only do it once a month. Think of it like your period. I'm coming for you once a month. Woo! We're going. No, I'm just kidding. But like I say, speaking of those bottles, it's time for, like, I'm going to really get into beards and bitching, because there are things that I love that are bitching that I don't want to just be bitching about. I want to tell you what's bitching, because I was on that stream with Jordan Cantillon. Like I say, that is bitching. He is definitely one of my favorite creators of 2022. There are a few creators that I really, 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 really like of 2022. I really enjoy their channels. I enjoy their content. So content creator wise, obviously, I really enjoy Jordan Cantillon's stuff. Jordan Cantillon Creations. You can check him out. He's also got Jordan Cantillon After Dark. That's coming out. You can check that out. It looks pretty cool. I saw the trailer. I'm interested in that. That Metal Guy 1983. He is always the pillar of positivity for reviewers and things like that. He's just always positive. He's always got a smile on his face. He's always got that never give up attitude. I love seeing that Metal Guy 1983. That guy is my bro. Steven, a shout out to you. I hope you got your oil. I hope it's there soon. I know it's supposed to come, and I know we got a cold snap where you are. I hope it's there. Bearded RDU. That is another person that I think that is absolutely fantastic as a reviewer. Someone that I think that is fun, someone that is honest. I watch their reviews, and he's fantastic. He's got a fantastic beard, but he's always got fantastic, honest ass reviews. So I'm looking forward to seeing his beardiversary videos that are coming out. I'm always excited to see that kind of stuff. I want to talk to you about my favorite companies of 2022, because I didn't have a huge budget for beard oil this year and getting grooming oil and products and things like that and butters and stuff like that, because I was starting the company, right? And so if people were wondering why I wasn't placing any orders, because usually I'm a kind of ordery kind of girl. I kind of just go order and click and hit the shop app, and then it comes, right? But my favorite companies of 2022, I don't know if they're going to surprise you or if they're not going to surprise you. But favorite companies of 2022, we got Jolly Old Fat Man. Bam at Jolly Old Fat Man is doing great things with beard oil and exotic oils that other companies don't have. He puts things in a bottle that other companies maybe don't have the balls to put in a bottle. And he tells you, like, you know, the truth. This might solidify on you. This might look this way. This might look this way. He doesn't give a shit. He tells you what it's going to look like and what's going to happen, but it's going to be the best for your beard. He said if you have to put it in a water bath, put it in a water bath, but he always lets his customers know. I appreciate that about Bam. I have a bunch of his oils. I did the 5 for 40. I enjoy every single one of them in my hair. My husband loves them in his beard. I love the squeeze top for like kind of formula. I didn't think that I'd like it at first. I really didn't. I'm going to be absolutely honest with you. I'm like, ooh, is this going to get everywhere? How's this going to go? It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect to just unscrew that top and be able to have it. I can even like take it with me if I'm going somewhere. It's super convenient. So Jolly Old Fat Man is definitely one of my top companies. And again, I'm going to go small batch because that's the way I roll for 2022. Another one for 2022. I haven't got a lot of ordering. I haven't been able to do a lot of ordering from, but I have a lot of oil from is Iowa Beard Company. Oh my God, Justin out of Iowa Beard Company comes up with the most complex sense. What he has done with things like Disney World, like I get ideas. Justin, I think, is a person of my own mind, because like he goes to Disney World. What does he do? Releases a lineup of, the Hat Box collection for the ride, the Haunted Mansion, which is also a ride I enjoy completely. But I don't think anybody nails it as hard as Justin does. And what the thing is, these small batch companies are so fucking underrated, and they're such underdogs, and they don't get the recognition that they should. And Justin's company is fucking amazing. He's another one that sends, personal notes, a really nice box. It's wrapped really good. Same with BAM. Nothing broke, nothing split. There was no spilled oil. There was nothing greasy. Same with Justin. Justin's profiles are so, even I got the Ninja Turtle one even. I was talking about it last night on a live stream. The Ninja Turtle one was out of the park. It's like a pizza scent. I'm like, am I going to like this? Rob loves it. He loves the butter even. And you don't have to use a lot because it's got a nice hold. It's got a nice consistency, and it's not gritty. I hate gritty butters. I hate gritty butter. So Iowa Beard Company, congratulations, because I think Iowa Beard Company knocks it out of the park fucking consistently, and they're like way underrated. Big time. Beard Brothers. Johnny at Beard Brothers has kicked my ass this year. Oh my God, with some really cool stuff. Especially, I don't know why I love it so much, but the soap, the coffee soap. I'm just so amazed this lasted over a month, and I have 2 baths or showers a day. Amazing. He sent me the caramel apple and the emu blend, as well as the emu blend with the butter, which is it's so nice. Again, another company that has great butter, just so nice and smooth. I love it. Really nice and smooth butter. Rob loves it in his beard. I put it in my kid's hair. The caramel apple. He gave that to me in the emu blend, and then he gave me that smoked smoldering peach scent, which I love. I discussed that with Jordan on the live stream. It's just, I don't like peach scents because they end up being boozy. No, Johnny knocked this one out. He knocked it out of the park. It's really, really nice. And for someone who doesn't like peach, that's a big thing to say. Big time. So Johnny did amazing this year for 2022. Sea Wench Naturals, a company out of Canada, actually, in the west coast of Canada. Rob found out about them when he went to the west coast to do some shooting for a film that he's finishing up. And he had to find a local beard oil because with the place he was flying with did not let you carry beard oil with you. So that's been a complaint. Amazing company. Definitely like botanical, kelp-based, sea salt-based, like think of the sea sort of products, and they're fantastic. Like I say, they're Canadian. They ship, here, and the shipping is like really like minimal and things like that. It's really good. They take great care in making their products really good. Again, and all the companies that I'm naming have really good things in their carrier oils, really good oils in their carrier oils, really nutritious oils for your face and for your hair and for your body or wherever you're putting that oil. Remember, it's grooming oil. You guys can put this anywhere. Don't think that this is just beard oil for ladies. I know a lot of these companies will say beard oil. They will, and they'll market it to you as that, but you can use it. I'm telling you, you can use it anywhere. So even if it's marketed as beard oil, don't take that as a stab at you. Buy it if you like the scent, and if you think you like the scent profile. That's what I do with beard oil. That's how I got obsessed with beard oil, and I started kind of, wanting to make it. So Sea Wench is good. And then I want to tell you also about Cervantes. Cervantes Beard Company. I don't think they get enough love either. Jesse Cervantes and as well Steven, that metal guy 1983, sent me the Hops and Glow combo, another great oil and butter combo. Again, another butter that's not greasy or gritty, and it doesn't make you feel, like Rob said, like you have things stuck in your beard. It's just awesome. Doesn't get grainy or crappy in the cupboard. Amazing. And the Hops and Glow is amazing because it's like a changing scent. The vegetable glycerin in it makes it. It just makes it awesome. It's a great hold in the beard when I see Rob wear it. It's really nice in my hair. And I love that the mangosteen pops for me. That's my favorite part of Hops and Glow. I know you think I was going to say it was going to be the hops or maybe the glow because the glow in the dark bottle, but no. I love the mangosteen because it's bright, and I love things like mangosteen. I like putting those in my products. Not only are all of these solid and consistently great products, the owners of these companies and these reviewers and stuff like that, they're real people. They're real people that you talk to. They're down to earth. They'll have a conversation with you. They'll call you on the Facebook phone, or you'll Facebook, chat each other, or you'll Facebook Live each other or whatever. and they'll talk to you. And if they have, a question for you, they'll DM you. Hence, that's cool. And I want to support these other companies. And I haven't been able to because hence startup costs. But there's other ways you can go about supporting these companies, like giving them shout outs and telling them what you think of their products, because these are products and these are companies and these are people that I like. And these are people that you should support too. Go check out these companies. If you missed it, go rewind this and go check it out again, because you got to check out these companies. I'll put them all in my stories. I will. Speaking of support, thank you for your support and your words of encouragement. Obviously, you've been super encouraging with Spin the Bottle. I'm excited to get that, going and get the record player out and show you the vinyl collection, and then pull one off the shelf and then make a bottle for you and send it out to you. We'll decide on the scent together, and then I'll make a bottle and I'll send it out to you. I think it'll be fun. And it's going to be good. And like I say, everything kind of got muddled up as soon as I did Spin the Bottle, because I think it pissed one or two people off. And that happens. Ruh-roh. Shit happens. Some people get pissed off. Like I say, I didn't invent the wheel, and neither do the people that are pissed off. The same people that I used to support all the time until one day, I started a grooming company. And then they heard I started the grooming company, like I say, and then my life got flipped, turned upside down, and I'm telling you, I became the witch of Bel Air. That's when they started talking to me differently, like I say. The first kind of inkling that I had of trouble is when, and companies have done this to me before, and a few companies have done this to me before, and I've said it. This company, I ordered 2 custom oils off this company, and it was custom blends, and they're pretty hardcore profiles. And I ordered them both and talked about it. And then they got sick. And so understandable. But then 6 weeks after I ordered, they'd still be churning out products from their grooming company and sending them to people. So I'm 6 weeks after, I kind of asked. And they refunded me. I was like, oh, so it's going to be like that, is it? So now you don't want to see me with oil. Okay, cool. So you can turn away my business. That's fine. They're quickly and happily refunded my money. Very quickly and very happily. Then I run into them in public, which is actually unusual, because we usually don't run into each other, because we don't really run with the same crowds. We don't go to the same places. We don't go to the same... I don't know. I don't want to say bars or anything like that, because I don't think they drink. But I'm just saying, we don't run with the same crowds. I go to say hi while I'm delivering a beard oil. It actually was a beard oil. It wasn't even a grooming oil. It was literally intended for a beard and a roll-on for a lady. So it was a perfume oil and a beard oil. I had made a custom for a friend. And I saw them there, and I had my kid with me. So I'm all like, you know how I am. And I got the hat tip and the sunglasses. I was like, oh yeah, it's going to be like that, is it? Okay. So I was like, from that point on, I kind of knew that they were really, really pissed. So the hat tip, snubbed publicly with my kid in tow, not cool. All this after they heard I was doing a grooming company. And you know what? They went from being a covert misogynist, and just showed their overt misogyny. It just came right out like a big fat Neanderthal. Not good at all. Over the last little while, I've noticed all kinds of grooming companies dropping, and all dropped by men. Like I say, they're all dropped by men. I don't see many ladies dropping grooming companies. It's just, I do not. It's awesome. And I like to see more grooming companies being dropped and launched, because that means there's more variety and you can get more sense, because some people are privy to sense that other people are not privy to. There are things that people have that I'm like, oh, I don't have that. Cool. I'll order it. Not from my company, but I'll order it from their company. I want to see what it's like. I want to see what their mix is like. Rob wants to see what it's like in his beard. It's research. It's good. I love it. And it's support, you know what I mean? But one thing I did notice, that everyone who launched lately was male, with the exception of myself. And I guess when your pronouns are she and her, it gives people carte blanche to shit on you. Like I say, what I'm packing in my pants has no agency in what I'm packing in your bottles and what I'm making with your products. So that's all I'm saying about that. Unless you're stirring your beard out, like I say, with your wiener, get out of here. Just step off. Do you play your guitar with your balls? I'm asking for a friend. So, like I say, it's my mind and not my vagina that people should be afraid of. So unless there's some magic vagina magic that I don't know about, be afraid of my head, not afraid of my gender. I'll tell you that. And after 2 years of doing kind of like the research myself and everything like that and looking it up myself and not having any help I've had help from a few company owners actually that have actually been really good to me, and they're still good to me now. But I've had a few company owners help me, but I've done most of the research and most of the work myself when it comes to like mixing grooming oils and knowing carriers and knowing amounts and knowing how much will burn your skin and stuff like that. And I'll let my products speak for themselves. I don't really care. So I'll just let you know, I don't back down when people throw a punch at me. In fact, I'll just throw it back 10 times fucking harder. I really don't give a shit. It shows people's passive aggressive fragility when they're huge bullies and they come at you in a passive aggressive way and they put little things in their stories and they try to be cryptic about it. It's funny. And they think that you don't notice, but you do. It's sad. And am I surprised? Unfortunately, yeah, kind of I'm surprised because I didn't expect it, but I kind of expected it, like 50-50. It's like you think the person's your friend and then all of a sudden, I guess if the heavy metal hippie's not in the kitchen, barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen, I'm not making you a sandwich. Like I say, it's not good, but I didn't want to do a show. Actually, I'm going to be honest. Rob does not like filming women in the kitchen. He thinks that it's sexist. And he thinks it objectifies women. So when we did the concept for Heavy Metal Hippie Kitchen, which we filmed more of together, he didn't really want to do it in a kitchen setting because he didn't want me to be in a kitchen. I'm like, well, where else am I going to cook? You know what I mean? So that is another reason behind, the spin the bottle thing. Because it's not, it's not making you a sandwich in the kitchen. It's not eating with you and being, crazy. So after you guys are done with your bro jobs and making stories with your pals and giving me shit, come back down to earth before you fucking spontaneously combust. You blow up and there's fucking bullshit fucking everywhere. Speaking of spontaneously combusting, I'm going to talk to you about church. Church. What starts with a C and ends with an urch? Church. People have asked me if I spontaneously combust when I go into a church. I don't. Obviously, I've been to a church. I'm still here. I'm still alive. I am a Buddhist, obviously. But I have obviously been to church in my life. So I was raised Lutheran, which is just a branch off of Catholicism. So I've been to church many times, but we used to go to church always on the big holidays. So we'd always go on Christmas, and my mom would always buy tickets to this thing. She'd try to buy tickets to this thing because it'd sell out fast. But when we get tickets to it, she would be like so excited. And it was called the Singing Christmas Tree. And I'm just like, I'm expecting like a Christmas tree to be like animatronic and fucking singing. I'm ready for it. I'm ready. I'm here for it. We get there to this Pentecostal church. There ain't no tree. There's just a bunch of fucking parishioners dressed up that can sing in green on risers that look like a triangle that looks like a fucking Christmas tree. So that was like a total lie. My day got ruined by, I was going to sit there and eat gingerbread and have hot chocolate because they let you have like food in church like that day and, or that evening, because it would usually be in an evening. And they'd have people on risers with candles and they're supposed to be like in a Christmas tree formation. It was totally shitty. And I'm going to say that right now. The singing Christmas tree was a lie. And I don't give a shit who knows it. It was a singing fucking Pentecostal triangle. It's bullshit. I thought it was going to be a real singing tree for real. I was really disappointed as a kid. Super disappointed. Because I'm a huge Christmas lover and I was so excited. And I was so stoked for the singing Christmas tree, only to be let down by it being people. like I say, this holiday season, I have a huge product. I have a huge project when it comes to products. I have a huge project coming down the pipe. I have, like, Rob and I have done like the studio for recording. Let me put that kind of away. So now that the studio for recording is done and the production studio is finished, I am actually, I don't know how to tell you this. I'm giving something else up. I decided because we have the space in our house, and I'm not gonna lie, like, I miss our kids when I go to the office. So I'm gonna give up my office, and I'm gonna do the one room all in stainless steel that used to be my recording studio, and make that my hair layer, my mix and vixen lab, and do everything there, because I have like shelving units and all kinds of stuff, and I know a lot of people that can do it out of their house too. So I'm going to do it there because I have the capacity to do it. I have the room to do it. So why the fuck am I paying for a space to do it in? Rob has a separate office, but he needs it because he needs quiet. Me, I can mix like crazy with like yelling going on, because that's what moms do, man. They juggle the chaos. It's all good. Like I say, I miss the kids, and they like to help too. They like to like watch and stuff. So I make them put, like I say, their PPE on, and then they can watch and they can see how I do it. They're not allowed to do it yet, but they can see how I do it. They know how I do it. Don't ask them. Like I've said this before, don't ask them how I do it. I think it keeps it, when you can do it out of the house, and you can do it in-house, I think it keeps it more family run and less commercial. And it's not like, oh, I'm just going to chuck this in a bottle from some company from somewhere and it just comes off of a line or whatever. I'd rather it come from the person and talk to that person on the end of a Facebook message or the end of a Instagram message or the end of an email. I'd rather talk to the person that way or chat with them. You know what I mean? If you have trouble with something, I'd rather talk to the actual human being than some beep boop robot. And so, like I say, building my lab in my old studio space is going to actually be fun. I'm really excited for it. And I'm really excited to mix in there because I'll be at home. It'll be nice. And I won't have to go anywhere and drive like all the way out to the fucking boonies to go somewhere that's cold and mix. And like my oils will be at a better temperature too. Because here it's like I have to heat the place constantly. And like now my house is warm. So it'll be better. So that's my holiday type project that I'm going to do. What are you doing for the holidays? Obviously, I'm doing DIY projects because I love them. I'm doing lots of baking. I love baking. I'm experimenting with things for the company. Like I said, I experimented with mustache wax. I've been doing stuff with like some colognes and aftershaves and stuff like that. Fun stuff. But I love baking. I made a few kinds of cookies now, so we're going to hand those out to the neighbors. The kids love doing that. Rob likes, we'll do some baking too like that. And only... it's the thing I'm bad at for the holidays is wrapping presents. And I've had to do it for my clients. And it looks like a drunk person wrapped it and then threw it down the stairs. That's how awesome my wrapping jobs are. I'm not going to lie. It's so bad to see my wrapping jobs. They're hideous. But I'm getting better. I blame paper. It's gotten stiffer over the years. I'm just going to say that. I'm putting that out there. My gift to you is... obviously, the stream that I did on Friday with Jordan. It's a gift to you of all the great scents of 2022. I mentioned my favorites too. Go check that out next time. And next time I see you, because I'm going to skip Christmas, so I'll see you the week after. Next time I see you, I'm going to give a gift to you. I'm going to give you a DIY project for yourself. If you're in a beard emergency, I don't want you running to Walmart or Shoppers Drug Mart to go get some shit for your beard. If you don't have anything, we are going to go into, because it's all about access. And I know around the holidays, money can be tight and a lot of people can't afford things. It's all about access. I'm going to give you a kind of a basic recipe and some carrier oils that you can use if you want. If you want to make yourself a grooming oil and how to do it, why would I tell you how to do it? Instead, you could buy some from me, or you can buy some from another company. Or if you don't have the money, you can make it yourself. So we're going to do that next week. Well, not next week, next episode. It'll be next week to you. But next episode of 21st Century Rocker Mom podcast. And if you know where I'm at, you know where to find me. You know where to find me every week. I'm here, except next week. I'm at 21st Century Rocker Mom podcast. 21st Century Rocker Mom podcast, wherever you stream. You stream maybe on Apple Music. Maybe you stream on Google Music. Maybe you stream on Deezer. I don't know. I'm on all those places streaming. I am at 21st Century Rocker Mom on Instagram. I am at Tanya Candler channel on YouTube. I haven't tweeted in a while. You won't see me on TikTok. You can find my link tree up top in the bio section of my Instagram on 21st Century Rocker Mom. If you want to and you're inclined to follow the grooming company, if you want to soften up your hair, you can find me at The Rockaholic Grooming Co. That's on Instagram. It's sometimes in my stories. You can find it. It's all there. It's in my link tree. I will see y'all after the holidays. I hope you have a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Christmas, whatever you celebrate. I will see y'all in the not the new year. I'll see y'all after the holidays. You take it easy and be good to each other. And like I say, I hope Santa brings you everything that you want on your list. Be good.